is always the issue. You know, I don't know how long I'm going to have on in earth, or I don't know, I'm always sick and I can't. So people can't really touch you because all they see is your sickness. But what about eating? Eating is a real lipstick because it's the only place that doesn't respond, I love you back. It's what you can indulge in and know and get lost in and not have any accountability. It's if you're single. It's the answer to everything in life. Graduation? Eat. Lost your job? Bought a new car? Went to church? Everything is eat. So it causes us to start to lose who we are behind the food, behind the appetite. And it only just trickles into other problems. But what is your lipstick? What do you hide behind? Is it your career? Or your education? That now you're somebody? You got all these certificates behind your name and you feel like it validates you now? You something? When all along you're just trying to get daddy to notice you. Got more letters. I get lost behind people's, all the letters in their name, you know. All these things they have, and I'm like, whoa, okay, you went to school for 17 years. Do you make any more money? No, not at all. Okay, what did you do it for? I mean, really. Because something in us thinks the more I can achieve, the more loved I'll be. That dad will come home now. Still that little girl waiting at the door. Instead of dealing with the truth. The truth is, I've been abandoned, and I don't know why. But what we put out there is, I'm successful, and I made it. So no one will ever see the truth. They will see the lipstick. They see the veneer, the exterior. They see that you're something. You're important. And that feeds that. But the little thing that you forgot is that that hole in your heart will always be there until you deal with it. What is it you hide behind? Is it loneliness? How about church? Church can be a lipstick. Especially if you come to church to feel important. Because you don't want to go home and be alone. Especially if your motives aren't right. And that what you do is not because you love God, it's because of what it feeds in you. I've seen the most important people in church be the nastiest people outside. Because what they do is not motivated by love. It's motivated by title, by position, by rank, by authority, by all these things that no one can check you on. Who goes up to the prophet and says, how many times have you prayed last week? Who does that? So you can constantly have this persona that you are something when really God doesn't even know your name. You can do that. And you can be popular at that. And you can see fruit from that. People will still be touched. You never know because that person is hiding. But every time we talk to you, it's all about ministry. It's all about the church. It's all, but what about you? What's going on in your life? How do you feel? What are you thinking? What prayers are still unanswered? What are you wrestling with God about right now in your life? There's a lot of other things you can talk about besides the roles you play and what you do. That's how you know. If you talk to somebody and all they talk about is everything they got going on. Oh, I mean, it's different in conversation when you're on subject than a person that has a lipstick. It's obvious. What about money? Or the lack of money? Some of us, our lack is all that people see. Oh, I wish I could. It must be nice. I can't go to the movies. I can't buy new shoes. I can't do anything. I'm raising all. What about being a single mother? You know, I mean, I could put, oh my God, I'd be wealthy. If I put 10 cents in the jar for every woman that says, well, I'm a single mother and I'm doing everything by myself. I said, well, does that mean you should sacrifice your whole life? You still deserve to have a smile on your face. You made a decision. Okay, God can bless you and still keep you in that situation. But we hide behind it. And it's just the role that we play. It doesn't mean that's who we are. You're a single mother, that's the condition you're in right now. That will change. Prayerfully. But the kids grow up. Then what of you remains? If every time anybody saw you, it's always about, well, I'm a single mom. I don't have anybody helping me, and you got somebody helping you, and I'm just doing it all by myself, and I got to wake up, and I can't even go outside by myself, and I can't. Everything you say, I can't, you can't. I don't use that. I only speak what I want. Try it. Try it. It has changed my life, and I didn't even know it could. When you talk to people in conversation, they say, well, what school you go to? What school do you want? What college do you want to go to? Well, I don't know. I don't know what school I'm going to get accepted. Well, what school do you want to go to? Just put that energy in the atmosphere. Just say what you want. Don't say all the barriers, because you immediately put obstacles before you. I was talking to a girl. She says, he just proposed and I want to get married, but when the time is right. I said, well, you just put an obstacle before you. Now time is the issue. When do you want to get married? Well, whenever time is right. Well, you set the time. You two grown people. Why would you put time as now an obstacle that in order for me to get what I want, I got to go around time? You did that. Just in your language. Speak what you want. And it doesn't matter all the extra stuff. I'm not saying like a word of faith and just name it and claim it, and that's great too. But I'm just saying condition yourself to speak what you desire and eliminate all other options. If you don't get what you want, so what? You didn't make a promise. You didn't put a down payment. But if you ask me in my conversation, I'm going to always tell you what I want. I want to get on the flight tomorrow morning. That's what I want. And I'm not going to say, well, if there's room. That's unnecessary detail that I don't even need to remind myself of. I don't know what that absolutely had to do with anything. But it works. The next time you do it, catch yourself and say, I'm creating more obstacles. What do I want? What is your lipstick? Is it getting married? Waiting for that main thing? If I hear Boaz one more time, I'm going to scream. Everybody's waiting on Boaz, and it's only probably one of them out there. So somebody is going to lose. What about rejection? Somebody tells us no one time, and we give up forever. Rejection is a part of life. You know how many people tell me no? Oh, God, so many. People every day say no. They look at you in ministry. They say, oh, yes, I see all you have to offer. Not good enough. They walk away every day. And you're forced to decide, what do I do with rejection? It's a part of life. But you don't have to hide behind it. Girls come up and they say, I'm getting married. Oh, my God, he proposed. He did. And they're all excited. And all I can think of, all the girls sitting at home crying because they didn't get a call. Somebody had to lose in order for you to win. It's just what foot is the shoe on. So there'll be times where you get yes, 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 and there'll be times you get no, 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 but it should never stop you. You don't have to hide. Your parents rejected you. Husbands reject you. People you thought would be there for you. People who said, I'm going to help you and I'm going to do this for you. And you've held that. And you've hidden behind that. You've not engaged in new relationships because of the rejection from old ones. Understand that it's a part of life. You will be told you're not good enough. You will go up for the basketball team and they tell you, nope, this is my starting five. Doesn't mean you don't keep trying. It just means it's not your season. What is your lipstick? We got a lot of kids in here. So what is your lipstick? Is it what happened to you when you were 7? People took advantage of you and did things to you that they had no business doing to you? What is it? I stopped you. So many grown women, 40 and 50, 60, 80 even, whose life stopped after that moment. Oh, they lived. They made the best with what they can do. But life stopped. What is it? Can I say the S word or no? You guys know about sex? I don't. I tell my son, he's 9, I'm like, what, you don't know anything about that, don't you? He's like, no, Mom, I don't. And we still trying to get the answer. We were watching TV and we're like, plug your ears, they're talking about. He was like, I know, sex. And I was like, excuse me? Come in here. And he's like, I'm like, what do you know about sex, son? You're 9. He's like, nothing at all, Mom. Still trying to get the answer. And then my 8-year-old, she says, it's when you like kiss each other, you know. So like go in there, have your adult time. You know, it's like when you like just kissing and back and forth. And I'm still working on that. Stay tuned. I'm trying to figure this out. But for some of us, we have misinterpreted what sex was and what love was. And we prefer to just keep a little bit of a man and we give him everything. Sorry, man, it's women heavy, but you get it. But we give everything of ourselves, hoping and wishing that this person will give us love in return. So we keep doing it and keep doing it, and another one after another one. And like I said before, we become all things to all men, just trying to get the love of one. And we're empty. We will allow a man to drop us off at work in our car and drive back to our apartment while we're at work and play video games and roll up, and then he'll have the nerve to come back and pick us up from work late in my car, and then we'll get home and you've been working 12 hours and you're tired and say, well, what's for dinner, babe? And you know what you do? Coming right up. Because a piece of a man is better than no man at all. And our desire to be loved is so strong that we'll ignore this man getting up in the middle of the night going in our daughter's room. We pretend we don't even see it. We damage the people in our lives because there's a need that we have that won't ever be satisfied by a man. It's hurt. It's unresolved issues. We're broken people, and our brokenness is causing so much pain in our community. We haven't yet dealt with our real stuff, and we just cover it up. We just hide it. We just show up to the barbecue. We don't care what the man got behind. He can be with another man. We don't even care. I don't want my mama to think I'm out here by myself, so let's just go to the family reunion. And we just dress this little piece of a man up, and we go out the house, and we convince ourselves that this is the best we can do. And it's not even real love. It's false. It's fake. It'll never go anywhere. What is your lipstick? I think the goal of everything we talk about is really us finding a way to deal with our stuff. For the beauty of who we are to emerge, we got to take out all the junk that we've put on top of it. The people we've become. Some of us are really angry. We're really nasty on the inside, and we don't know how we got that way, but we just are. And we can come to church and be kind, but in our hearts, we're nasty. We got to deal with that. People say, well, I just give it time. You know, I've been through a lot, but I give it time. It'll get better. Some way, somehow, something will drop out the sky, and it'll get better. I'm sorry, it won't get better like that. You have to deal with it. You have to deal with it. If right now we put some fruit in the refrigerator and gave it time, what's going to happen? It's going to stink, it's going to rot, and it's going to be nasty. It may not be like that at first, so you think you got away easy. But eventually, what's on the inside will come out, and that's when people don't want to be around you anymore. That's when your attitude starts to change. That's when you start saying stuff. That's the person at the bank. I hate people like that. You know, you get up in the line and you want to get some money out, and they say, well, give me 3 IDs. And you sitting there looking like, what are you going through in your life? I need to pray for you because you got a problem. But it's just I'm angry. I'm not happy about where I am in life, and it's inside, and now it's creeping outside. In order for us to be effective in what God wants us to do, in order for us to be free, we got to really deal with it. You got to deal with it. You got to sit in it. For some of you, if something happened to you in your childhood, you actually need to go back to that age, and you got to constantly teach that little girl in you that it's going to be okay, that it's not your fault. You got to talk to her until she grows up, because a part of you is still lost back there. You got to deal with it. There's no other way around it. Whatever your lipstick is, we all have them. Doesn't mean we have to live bound. And I'm speaking to the heart. I'm not speaking to the mind, because the mind is very tricky. The mind will say, girl, you all right. She ain't talking to you. This message ain't for you. That's what the mind will do. But the heart knows. Because honestly, a lot of our struggles, we long to get rid of it. We don't want to carry this kind of burden. It's heavy. We've done a decent job. We've fooled everybody in our life. But we don't want to. We want to be able to come to you and say, I don't know if God's hearing my prayers. We want to come to you and say, gosh, why did my father come home for me? Why did he have to go and make a family with somebody down the block and not me? We should be able to say that. But we can't, because self says, you're better than that. You know things will work out. And we expect these feelings to just disappear. They're real. And they're stopping a lot of us from really moving into our destiny. There's more we have to do for God. There's more we need to accomplish in the world. You know, a lot of you, your promotions and stuff, the jobs and the stuff you're trying to get in the natural, a lot of it's held up because of your junk. You cannot be trusted with more, because he knows if he gives you more on top of all this mess, you're going to ruin it. And he's invested too much in you. You got to go inside and go deep. It's the only way to do it. Pull out all that stuff. You feel so free and so lifted. I don't care how long you've been on this earth. It's real. Are we saying everything's going to be solved in a moment? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is take the first step. Take out the mirror and say, God, really, what are you doing? And so if you're hiding behind a lipstick, and we all are, I mean, everybody, I mean, at some way, in some time. There are things that I dealt with 10 years ago that I don't deal with now, but there's things I deal with now that I didn't deal with 10 years ago. Just life. Here's the solution. And there's just a few things, and the rest you can get in the book. I go into way more detail in the book. But if you want to find, if you want to break free, you want to say, okay, I hear you. I got stuff I'm hiding behind. I haven't really shown my true self. I go to work, I do my job, but I don't let people in. If you know that you know, I got some stuff I need to deal with. Some conversations I never had with my mom. Some people that never told me I love you, and that hurts me. You got to dig deep, and this is what you do. You find you. So you got to find the you that God created you to be. That may look radically different than who you are today. You got to go to the you that you remember before the rape, or before the hurt, or before life got real, or before you were taken advantage of. Find the happiest moment you can remember. Okay, you got to go back to that place. You got to find you. When you wake up, you're happy to be alive. You smell the roses. I mean, literally, like, you got that pep in your step. You know, people like kick their legs up like that. That you is awesome. That you will go to any length to make somebody else feel that joy. So find you. And this is how you do it. You ask God what he says about you. What do you think about me? Who should I be? What should I wear? How should I dress? What kind of attitude should I have? Am I a mean person or am I a kind person? Do I love or do I not love? Like, really ask the hard questions. I had to be a tough person because I had a tough dad. And he would cut, oh my God, his words, oh my God, when he got out of prison. You know, his background was very strong, and his dad was very abusive to him. So his words would literally cut you to shreds. So with my siblings, my brother took it inward. So he was more introverted. He took it in. So my dad was being who he was. My brother went in. My sister, she acted out. So she was getting in trouble. She was fighting in school. Everything was outward. She was loud. She was just all over. And I learned how to get around it. I learned how to joke through it. I learned how to navigate my way around him. And I learned how to navigate around difficult personalities. And it changed me from childhood until I started this process with God saying, who do you want me to be? Maybe I'm not that strong person that I had to be in order to cope with my living situation. So make my heart soft So I don't overlook the people you've put in my path because I'm too focused, I'm too direct. Maybe you didn't create me to be a direct person. You got to ask him. And then you speak his words until you believe him, and you believe his words until they're real. You allow his word to transform you. What he says in the Bible is truth. You can bank your life on it, and it won't change. Ask him. Consult that owner's manual, the person who created you. Find out, how do I function? How do I work? Number 2, make peace with your past. There's some things that happen to you that you can never change. They happen, they're over, and there's nothing you can do about it. Be okay with that. But there's some stuff in your past that don't look too good. Own that. Don't pretend it never doesn't exist. Don't pretend, don't have mind over matter. It is real. It happened and it's there and I know it. Okay? Make peace with that. Be okay with that. Number 3, fight for forgiveness. Forgiveness of yourself and forgiveness of others. Forgiveness is not that deep and heavy. It's stop being angry. Stop being mad at the people in your life that didn't do for you what you really wanted. If somebody can come in this room and change your mood, then you have a lipstick. There shouldn't be a person alive that can make your smile go to a frown just by them showing up. That's undealt with, unresolved issues. Fix those things. Stop being angry at these people. How do you know? Some of them may be obeying God. Yeah. There's some people that told me no in life and hurt me profoundly. And it was God's order. He allowed that to happen for a specific reason. I got to be okay with that. So being mad at them doesn't change anything that's happened in my life. It doesn't take away my pain. It doesn't resolve my issues. It doesn't make me feel better. It just sits there. Stop being angry at the people who were supposed to do something for you. And some of you are angry at people and they don't even know it. You're mad at them, you cut them off, and they don't even know why. Well, she knew when my birthday was, and she didn't even call me. I'm done with her. Stop being angry at people. Do it in community. Find a few people that you can be honest with. I don't care if it's in your high school, middle school, or at church. Just get a couple people and say, you know what, I just want to be honest. You come in church and you don't feel blessed, don't say blessed. You actually hinder people from helping you. You don't believe me? If you come in church and you praying and you saying, Lord, I just need provision. Just provide for me, Lord. Just send a ram in the bush. Just help me. My rent's due. I need some money. God bless me. Please put somebody in my path today that'll be obedient to you. And you put on your best St. John suit that you had in the closet when you had money. And you hop in your Mercedes-Benz. And you come to church with a need in your life. And somebody walks up to you and you say, hi. They feel like God is talking to them, right? But since they're human, they don't know if it's God or if it's them. So they got the money and they're going to bless you. They're on their way to you. But the moment you open up your mouth and they say, how you doing? Because they're looking at you and they're like, she look like she got enough. She don't need my little money, right? And they ask you, how you doing? Oh, I am blessed. I am awesome. God has been so good to me. Oh, I want for nothing. That person says, okay, you're good. Maybe somebody else obeyed. They're going to put that money in their pocket. Sometimes we detract others from even doing what we are asking God to do for us because our inability to be honest about where we are. The person next to you, you just found out your husband was cheating on you. Okay, there's somebody in your path coming that had the same experience that can help you. But if you sit there and you just, I'm going to keep it together. You just kept it all into yourself and you didn't give anybody an opportunity to see you're vulnerable so they can help you. So they can say, oh, she needs prayer today. Let us pray for her. I was the one who always got everything together. So if you saw me, I had getting out the car, I got all these groceries. And then somebody say, you need some help? No, I got it. I'm good. I just was so conditioned to have it until I realized, no, I need help. I'm not having a good day today. I don't want to be a Barbie. I don't want to come in church and sit on the first row and wave. My life is falling apart, and you need to know that. And when I start being honest with people like, gosh, I'm really feeling some warfare here. People just swarm on me and pray for me and lift my spirit. And they wouldn't have been able to do that if I had it all together. Being vulnerable makes it easier for people to bless you. So just think about it for a second. What is your lipstick? Just, you got that mask there? Just look at that mask. Just think about it. Who knows? What is your lipstick? What is the thing you've been hiding behind? Could be your attitude. What is it? And we're going to close. What is it? Just think about it for a second. People will always come to me after and say, you know what, I really don't have a lipstick. My hopes, my dreams, my plans belong to you.